field toward the house that lay beyond the blacksmith. "I'll have one of my boys show you where to put your sheep and oxen."
"We are always happy to have extra hands to bear the burden of work," Narcissa Whitman added, "and of course your youngest sister will attend school with the other children." "Thank you." Grace sensed it was best to say little. After a bit more instruction on meals and the like, Grace found herself and her sisters dismissed to the care of Harriet Kimball, who lived with her husband and children in the house across the field. "I'll show you around," Mrs. Kimball said, looking directly at Grace. "It's always nice to talk to someone new. I heard the doctor refer to you as Mrs. Martindale." Grace nodded as they made their way across the mission grounds. The air was cool, but not overly cold. "I'm widowed. My husband died a few days ago." Mrs. Kimball stopped and patted Grace's arm. "I am so sorry. Do you have children?" "No. We were just married before coming west. I'm here with my sisters." "I have 5 children. We had 7. She dropped her gaze to the ground. "I lost 2 on the long road here. The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away." Grace nodded and cast a glance at Hope and Mercy, who seemed enthralled with their new surroundings, especially the Indians camped at a distance across the pond. "There were a great many deaths on our journey here," Grace quickly added. "We didn't have a doctor amongst the travelers, so I did what I could." "Are you a midwife?" "Among other things. I am a healer. I was taught by my mother just as she was taught by her mother. The tradition goes back for generations. Frankly, I find those skills surpass most school-trained physicians." "Well, it's probably best you don't tell Dr. Whitman your thoughts. He doesn't appreciate his ways being called into question." Grace nodded. "Thank you for letting me know. I apologize if I've offended." Harriet shook her head. "Not at all. Here in the wilderness it doesn't bode well to take offense, at least not for long. We need one another out here." They stopped in front of the house, and Harriet Kimball opened the door. "This is the emigrant house. The Sager children call it the mansion when they visit from the mission house." "Who are the Sager children?" Grace asked. "Orphans adopted by the Whitmans. Their folks died on the trail here some years ago." Harriet motioned for Grace to follow as she stepped inside the house. "There are 6 rooms here on the first floor and then an upper floor with beds. The Saunders family has 2 rooms here on the first level, and our family and the Halls have 1 room each. Mrs. Hayes and her son stay with the Halls. Upstairs, the people vary depending on travelers, but usually we have about 30 people sleeping in the house altogether." "30?" Hope declared in disbelief. "How in the world can you quarter 30 people in this small house?" Mrs. Kimball seemed surprised by her outburst. She shrugged. "It is a tight fit, but we mostly use it just for sleeping. During the day, the children attend school, and the men work with Dr. Whitman at the grist mill or blacksmith shop. There's always plenty to do." "And the women?" Grace asked. "What sort of duties might we have?" Mrs. Kimball shrugged. "Why, the same sort of work women do everywhere. Cooking, cleaning, sewing, preserving the food. We make our own candles and soap. We have no one to depend on but ourselves. The nearest fort, that of the Hudson's Bay Company, is Fort Nez Perce. It's over 30 miles away, however, and supplies are expensive." "Hope and I will do what we can to help, won't we, Hope?" Grace cast a look at her sister, who appeared bored with the entire conversation. Grace nudged her. Hope rolled her eyes heavenward. "Of course." Mercy giggled, but covered it with a cough. Mrs. Kimball returned her gaze to the room. "You and your sisters can sleep in here on the floor. I'm sorry there aren't enough beds, but it's warm and out of the weather." "We're used to sleeping on the ground, so it really isn't a problem." Grace glanced around the simple room. "I'm just grateful that we've been allowed to stay." Once they were alone, Hope edged